guys, welcome to another episode of Home Buying Series. So today we actually came to one of our subscribers' house and we have been talking about it, before he was buying a house and where different places he's gonna look. And finally he bought a house in Brampton and we were like, this is a good opportunity for us to actually go into the city, go into the part of this Brampton and see how was his experience so far. So first of all, welcome to our channel. And so you bought a house in 2019 March, right?
Yes.
And how much was the house price? Do you remember?
It was 510 at that point of time.
510. That's a good price with respect to Brampton, because Brampton considered to be an expensive market. Let's start from the beginning. When you guys came to Canada, you came as a family?
Initially, when I landed, I was with my friend, because that's how your journey starts. And at that point of time, he was living in a new area, that is Financial Drive in Brampton. But then he shifted to Milton. So that's how I started my journey in Milton. So that again was a very good area, and I lived there for 1 year. Lots of struggles were there with the Indian groceries, and some kind of things were missing there, right? So that's why we started looking outside Milton when I made a decision that I want to buy a home. So that became my preference, that everybody was saying that Mount Pleasant is a new area which is getting developed in Brampton, where I have this house right now, and it is at the outskirts of Brampton. And everybody was saying that this is where now all the IT crowd is there. FYI, I am also working in IT as a consultant, so that became one of my choice, because it is at the border of Brampton, which is having access to Georgetown, access to Caledon, and lots of scenic beauty because you are at the border, and it was a new property. So those were few of the points which made influenced my decision to buy a house in Brampton.
That's nice. What was your motivation to like, okay, now I have to buy a house, enough of renting?
I thought the rents are actually very high.
That's true.
Although I was having a townhouse in Milton, and still I considered that I have money, why not start looking for a house? And this was a house which was actually we were sold on the first moment itself, because of the view, because of the things which we were looking forward for, and plus the rent was not making that much sense for us.
So 510, it was a very good price. इतना सही price कैसे मिला?
मुझे वो डील कैसे मिली, ये मैं एंड में दोबारा बताऊंगा. That's a very good story, or you will like it.
So you have to stay till the end. What was your preferences in terms of the amenities within the house?
See, there are many criterias of my wife.
Okay.
Which actually decides where you will be.
Right.
As I told you, for me, I was preferring detached, but lots of criterias. Let me name the few. In front of this house, there is a plaza, so you can go walking and take your groceries. So that's one of the biggest advantage which we have.
That's true.
Then near this society itself, not near, actually in this society you have a bus stop. So that was one of the things which you lack in Milton. The connectivity is a huge challenge.
That's true.
So that was another thing, that connectivity was very good. Third thing was the school, which was very good. As I told you, Mount Pleasant is a very good locality itself. That third preference was also knocked off. And another thing was, this was a new property with a very good view, and that actually is a property with a corner unit. So there are only 4 corner units here in this society. So that was another thing which I thought, and I will say my wife thought, a very good thing to have.
Right.
So that's why we rejected that detached thing and moved here, because at the end, happy wife is a happy life.
Is happy life and happy home.
Hey, you learned why we talk. So I hope you joined my video today's show. Bye! And I hope you subscribe to my channel. If you see the comments, click on it and you will show to see the open Tomo. Bye!
Exactly. So I think it is very important when we are buying a home that both husband and wife should have their perspective out, and they should put out their needs, right? Because ultimately if one partner is only focused on their needs, and the other, you will miss out few things.
Yep.
Right? Say for example, in our case, Richie was very particular about, or have to need all these things in the kitchen. Oh yes, we need to make sure that, you know, we need this kind of a neighborhood, or things like, you know, few custom things within the house. And I think it is always good idea to buy something on your budget, and then you will always, you know, gather your equity, and then you can always upgrade.
Yeah, so to substantiate your point, it's a very good example. So I bought it in 2019 March. Right now in 2020, it is the highest property which is sold in this area is 610. So you see the rise in 1 year itself, and that is the equity which will be added to your gain, right?
Exactly.
So once you have that, plus my realtor myself is of a opinion that I will not sell this property, because it's very hard to buy a property in GTA,
exactly,
right? Greater Toronto area. So once you have something here, you can move around some places. And if you are investing, for example, another scenario was detached house, that would be 900 or 800 1 million, right?
Exactly.
You're stuck with a huge portion with one property. Right now I can use it for my rental as well. I can shift to maybe within 2 or 3 years.
What about the work? I know a lot of people, काफी लोगों को होता है कि just like, you know, now you get a home, you have to do a lot of work. You have to, you know, making sure that everything's are properly running, everything are fixed up. And then obviously if it is, you know, more rooms apart from your regular cleaning and, you know, taking care of baby and everything, how was your experience with that? Do you think that it has changed a lot?
Another reason why I moved here, यहाँ पर I'm paying a minimum, I will say, maintenance, that is $180. उसमें आपकी पूरा लैंडस्केपिंग है, उसमें स्नो रिमूवल है, उसमें यू कैन थ्रो एनी टाइम, राइट? एंड जैसे बाहर कुछ ख़राब भी हो जाता है तो इट्स देयर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दे डू दैट. तो मेरे जो एक्स्ट्रा 3-4 आवर्स जा रहे थे यहाँ पे, बिकॉज मेंटेनेंस इज़ इंक्लूडेड. मैं कहूँगा अगर 200 से कम, इफ़ it is below 200, you should go with the house with the maintenance. Because बहुत सारी चीज़ें कवर हो जाती हैं जो अगर आप इंडिया से स्पेशली आ रहे हो तो आपको लाइफ टफ लगेगी शुरू में, बट अगर आप वो मेंटेनेंस दे रहे हो आपको लगेगा लग्जरी शुरू से ही चल रही है.
And $200 is not bad.
Yeah, it's very good. They deserve it.
So the area really looks nice with all the new type of houses, and they have all different type of houses from stacked. This one is more like a stacked townhouses.
So ये डील कैसे मिली, that is a very interesting story. I was about to book a pre-construction unit. I was about to give the booking amount 50,000 for that. मेरे दोस्त ने मुझे बोला कि हम यहाँ पर कुछ नई यूनिट्स लगी हुई हैं, हम देखने चलते हैं. तो ज़्यादातर क्या होता है, यू लूज आउट ऑन दोज थिंग्स जो आसपास लिस्ट हुई होती हैं और आपके दोस्त रहते हैं उन एरियाज़ में. तो I went with him, saw this place. Actually जो घर हम देखने आए थे, that was sold in 1 day. So this property was having a banner called coming soon. तो जब वो coming soon हमने बैनर देखा, so that banner was for the corner property जो हमें चाहिए थी, right? That point at that time itself मैंने उसकी images देखी property की. I like that images a lot. तो I called that person there and then कि ये coming soon है, आप मुझे दिखा सकते हो. लाइक इट वॉज संडे एंड 3 सेंटीमीटर स्नो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, एंड ही अग्रीड. वाइफ एंड आई डिसाइडेड देयर एंड देन कि दिस इज द वन, एंड माई रियलिटर मेड एन ऑफर विद इन 2 hours.
I think we have covered a lot of things, and Gaurav has helped us a lot sharing his insights about the job market and the housing market, and especially in Brampton. If you guys have any questions for us related to buying a house in Brampton, especially in this Mount Pleasant area, put that in comments below, and Gaurav and me will try to answer that whatever possible. Thanks a lot.
Yep,
right?
my pleasure.
And don't forget to watch our next video on the same topic. We will cover some more people, some really good immigrants sharing their journey, so that it will give you a motivation, it will give you a push to come to Canada, or even if you are in Canada, get a house or get a nice job. Till then, we'll see you in our next video. Keep watching and stay healthy.